What do you mean by models of teaching? Briefly discuss the various families of models of teaching. OR. What do you mean by the term teaching models? Describe its fundamental elements in brief. OR. What is a teaching model? Discuss its need. OR. What do you mean by teaching models? Describe the characteristics of teaching models. Models of teaching. Models of teaching have been developed to help a teacher to improve his capacity to reach more children and create a richer and more diverse environment for them. Model of teaching consists of guidelines for designing educational activities and environments. It is meant for creating suitable learning environment. Models of teaching can be defined as instructional design which describe the process of specifying and producing particular environmental situation which cause the student to interact in such a way that a specific change occurs in their behavior. They suggest the ways and techniques of creating a favorable environmental condition for carrying out the teaching process. They help in achieving desirable teacher-pupil interaction during teaching. Nature of models of teaching. Perspective strategies to guide planning and instruction. Supported by research-based evidences. Detailed overview of how to teach. Role of instructor. Type of classroom structure. Ways teacher supports student efforts. Provide common language to discuss facts of instruction common across all classrooms among administrators and teachers. Increase probability of learning certain skills, knowledge. Promote awareness about how individuals and collective faculty teach. Help students learn how to learn. Need, functions of models of teaching. Improvement in teaching. A teaching model helps improving the teaching learning process in systematic and scientific manners and ultimately helps developing curriculum. A model of teaching helps in the developing of curriculum for different courses at different levels of education which is functionally transacted by the teacher. Guidance. A model of teaching serves a useful purpose of providing in definite terms what the teacher has to do. He has a comprehensive design of instruction through which she can achieve the objectives of the course. Specification of instructional material. A teaching model specifies in detail the different types of instructional material which are to be used by the teacher to bring desirable changes in the learner's personality. Other functions. Other functions are more specific in nature, i.e., model of teaching gives practical shape to the systems of teaching arts. Model of teaching determines criterion behavior so that performance of the learners could be observed, assessed and evaluated for taking further decisions. Model of teaching helps modify teaching strategies for teachers more scientifically. Model of teaching helps modify teacher behaviors through teacher development programs. Characteristics of good models of teaching. Scientific procedure. A good model of teaching is based on certain assumptions as well as grounded on specific theories of learning. It is not a haphazard combination of facts. It is a systematic procedure of modifying the learner's behaviors. Criterion of performance. A good model specifies the criteria of acceptable performance which is expected from the students. Specification of operations. All good models of teaching specify mechanisms that provide for student reaction and interaction with the learning environment. Assumptions. Each model of teaching has certain basic assumptions which are kept in mind while a model of teaching is to develop. Answer to some fundamental questions. A teaching model answers some fundamental questions, such as how does a teacher behave? Why she does like this? What would be the effects of her such behavior on the learners? Based on individual differences, a mode of teaching follows the age-old maxims of teaching, which have been accumulated by our long experiences in teaching. Presenting appropriate experiences. Teaching models provide appropriate experiences to the students and the teachers. These experiences are based on rule of thumb, rather on the basis of some valuable data, theory or even philosophy. Influenced by philosophy. Good models of teaching can be influenced by some kind of philosophy of real life. Development of human ability. All good models are humanist in nature as well as in orientation. They are developed and used for the development of human ability and capacity. Teaching is a system of human acts for the purpose of development of human capacity of others, called learners in the best economic and efficient manner. Specification of learning outcome. All good models of teaching specify the learning outcomes in details in observable students' performance. After completing an instructional sequence, whatever the students perform is specified in detail. Specification of environment. Every good model specifies in definite terms the learning environment conditions under which a student will learn and modify their behaviors as focused in the model. Elements of teaching model. Focus. The main or central point of something. There is a particular focus of objective of any particular teaching model. Keeping this focus in mind, the teaching model is developed. It is central aspect of teaching model. Therefore, model differ from the other in terms of their primary objectives or focal point of their intended outcome. Structure. It describes the model's structure and includes the sequence of steps involved in the organization of the model. In this step, the series of teaching activities are decided. The learning activities are so arranged that those situations occur which can contribute to achieving the required objectives. The main purpose of this structure is to establish a relationship between the steps and phases of activities. Principle of reaction. It is concerned with the teacher's reactions to the student's responses. This portion of the model alerts the teacher on how to react to the response of the student's question. It is here that the teacher learns whether the learner have been actively involved in the model's processes and steps. Principle of reaction tell the teacher how to regard the learner and how to respond to what the learner does during the use of world. The social system. The social system describes the interaction between students and teacher as each model is viewed as if it is here in mini-society. Since every teaching model is different, each model will have its own social system and rules of engagement. The most significant purpose of this element is to control and bring about a change in the behavior of the students. Support system. This refers to any additional requirement, beyond the usual general human skills and capabilities from the teachers and the facilities or schedules, available in an ordinary classroom. This support would also include special books, films, laboratory kits, reference materials, permissions for research, other facilities, etc. This step is related to the success or failure of teaching, i.e., it is seen whether the proposed objectives are achieved or not. The strategy adopted for teaching process has been effective or ineffective. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share for more videos.